Hey guys, and welcome back to So You Say You're Married. I'm your host, Kodi Mann, and today I wanted to cover a topic that I think would really help the divorce rate if these were addressed before someone signed a contract. And that is 5 things to think about before you say I do. All right, so let's face it. When you say I do, you do it with the intention of having a permanent, lasting, forever, infinity sign relationship with another person. You don't do it with the intention of breaking up, getting a divorce, separating in the future. At least if you go into it with that intention in mind, you shouldn't be doing it in the first place. Let's just be honest. So I wanted to go over some 5 things that really every single person that is getting married needs to think about before they say I do. Women especially, young brides especially, tend to get confused between premarital jitters and, oh my gosh, my gut's really trying to tell me something and I shouldn't do this. So how do you tell the difference? Well, point number 1 is figuring that out. So let's dive in and maybe we can clear up some questions for you, especially if you're about to tie the knot anytime soon. If you're hesitating, wait. If there's any reason for doubt at all, if you're having any kind of cold feet, and I'm not just talking about on the wedding day, I'm talking about when he proposes and you go, yes! And it's not a, oh my gosh, I've been waiting on this, I've been waiting on you to ask me, yes, 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 then chances are you have some issues that you need to address first. Issue is the wrong word. You have some things, for lack of a better word, that you need to address first. And those things can be good and they can be bad. They can be personal and they can be with the other person. No matter what those things are, you still have things that you need to clear up before you move forward with the I do. So key point number 1 is removing all doubt. Remove hesitation, remove all doubt. Whatever you've got to do that, do it. Ask those hard questions. Even if it's against the social acceptance rule, do it anyway if it's what it's going to take to make sure that you have a long-lasting marriage or that you're with the right person or that you shouldn't be with that person and you need to end it before you ruin both your lives. Do it. It's your life. It's permanent. It's his life. It's permanent. You're messing with 2 people's lives for forever. Because this will trail you forever. Worst case scenario. Let's walk down that street for a second. Worst case scenario. You guys get married. You divorce 5 years later. Okay, well, you always have that in the back of your mind. Well, I had a failed marriage. I had an ex. There's some mental issues that come with that. There's a lot of insecurities that come with that. The next person that you're going to be with is going to have to go through hell and high water just to be able to have a strong, secure relationship with you because you're going to have to work through some of those issues from before. Let's say that you had kids with that spouse. That spouse is never going away. Ever. You are attached to that spouse for the rest of your life because you have the kids for the rest of your life. That spouse is going to be there to raise those children. Hopefully, ideally. They need their daddy and the mama, right? So ideally, hopefully, they're going to have a relationship with both parents, which means you're going to have a relationship with that spouse, be it good or bad. You're always going to have that person there. Is that something you really want to contend with? Is that something that you really, really, really want to have hanging over your head all the time? Think about it. Right now, before you tie the knot, you have the chance to determine your future. So remove all hesitation, remove all doubt. If you have any hesitation, if you have any doubt at all, address it and then pick the direction that is best for your life. Because whether they see it or not, it's going to be better for your spouse down the road too. Because they're going to find somebody that's a better fit for them, just like you're going to find somebody that's a better fit for you. However, if you have hesitation, that hesitation is removed, that doubt is removed, you can move forward with full confidence that this is the person for you, I don't know why I doubted in the first place, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, then marry them. It's okay. You've done what you needed to do. You've done your due diligence. You've put yourself in a place where you needed to be before you walked down that aisle. And that's exactly the point of doing the doubt removal. Do you see the future with this person? Ladies, when you look at your man, do you see him at 40? Do you see him at 60? Do you see him at 80? Do you see him at 100? Can you see your life without him at all? Do you want to see your life without him at all? If the answer to that is no in any regard, evaluate. If the answer is yes, and you can see the stages of your life with him, you can see the progression, you have an idea. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be exact. The world's going to happen. But the point is, you should be able to imagine a life and a future with this person. If you can, then the chances are that you are with the right person. I remember when I first got engaged to my husband, my mother asked me, are you sure he's the one for you? Are you sure he's the right person? And she's a mom. She's doing it to test me. And my answer was immediate. There was no hesitation. There was every bit of, yeah, Mom. I don't want to see any part of my life without him. I can't imagine any part of my future without him. I want him there. I want him in it. Please note, I said I want him, not I need him. Little side train of thought there. You should always want your spouse. You shouldn't ever need someone. You should want to be with them, not need to be with them. Big difference. We can talk about that later. But I said that I wanted him there. I could see our future. I could see him 20 years down the road. I could see him 30, 40 years down the road. As a matter of fact, as we continue to stay married and as we continue to get older, I'm having flashes of the future quite a bit, where I saw my husband conversing with a gentleman the other day, and I was like, oh my God, that's what he's going to look like when he's 80. But I see the future with my husband, and I like it. I'm okay with that future. I'm actually quite happy with that future, and I don't want it to change. That's what you should feel like before you say I do. That's what you should feel like on the day you're walking down that aisle. Do you love yourself enough to be alone? Went there. Do you love yourself enough to be by yourself and still be happy? Can you be happy and be alone? If you can, then your ability to make someone else happy by being with them is almost guaranteed. But if you can't, and you need someone to make you feel happy because you're not happy by yourself, then there's a lot of internal work there that needs to be done before you walk down that aisle. That creates a codependency that will come back to haunt you later in your relationship. It will lead to identity issues. It will lead to feelings of resentment. It will lead to feelings of doubt. It will lead to feelings of curiosity where you may have missed out on something. And it will stunt your growth, not only as an individual, but also as a couple. So really work internally and do some self-retrospection on who you are, why you aren't happy by yourself, and what you need to do to get there to where you are happy by yourself. If you are happy by yourself, however, and you're able to still enjoy your life, you don't need someone in your life, but you want someone in your life, again, going back to that need and want, then you're ready. You're ready for a long-term relationship. You're ready for something that is going to provide value. It's going to enhance your life. That's what a spouse should do. A spouse should enhance your life. A spouse should be someone whom is a want. And wants are luxuries. A spouse is a luxury. treat it like it's a luxury. Treat him like it's a luxury. Treat her like it's a luxury. Treat your spouse like she or he is the biggest luxury in your life. You never want to live without luxury. That's what this person should be. That's how they should make you feel too. So, if you're happy by yourself, you'll be able to treat someone like that because you'll appreciate them more. You'll realize what enhancements it really does give your life because you were happy with your life before. Versus if you're not happy with your life, someone comes in and you feel happy when you're with them, you feel like they complete your life, but you're still not happy with who you are, then it's a mask that you're wearing to avoid confronting the deeper issues of your own personal self-doubt. And you can't rely on someone for your own happiness. You have to do that yourself. And no one should follow the consequences for your own actions or non-actions. So love that person enough to work on yourself to the point where you can achieve contentment by being by yourself before you walk down that aisle. A little deep, I know. It's a little heavy, I know. But it's necessary, and a little bit of work now is going to go a long way for your future. Point number 4. If a red flag is waving at you, don't just wave back and keep going. Okay? Pay attention. They're there for a reason, and there are things that you should really take into account before you decide to say, I'm going to live forever with this person. Because those red flags, they get redder. They grow. They get bigger. They wave more frantically. Like, pay attention. Don't just brush it off as, oh, well, that's just a one-time thing. Look, if you see something that's a red flag, test it. Challenge it. Make sure it's not a one-time fluke. Put them in a situation where they have to address that red flag. Put them in a situation where it might bring it out, and then you can really see something about that person. But don't expect that person to change. Don't expect those red flags to go away. And don't expect that your undying love for each other is going to fix everything, because that's not how people work. I'm sorry, it's the cold, hard truth. It's not how people work. People are who they are. Yes, people can change, but it's not in the cliche way that people mean it. There's growth, there's evolution, and a person has to want to change before they will change. And sometimes that doesn't mean that it's for someone else. If they've already got red flags, pay attention, because they're probably something that's only going to get bigger and you're not going to be able to ignore it anymore. That honeymoon phase isn't going to stay forever. That Twitter-pated phase isn't going to stay forever. And all of a sudden you're left with red flags and no butterflies. So pay attention, address them. If there's something that can be removed, that can be mitigated, that person can work on, yeah, help them work on it. But if it's something that's permanent, that's more severe, that can be a little dangerous even, in any form of that word, might be time to reconsider your choice and move on to someone who is not going to give you those major red flags that could in turn jeopardize your life together, your relationship. So, pay attention, follow your gut, and be smart about it. If your friends and your family are telling you, hey, I'm really worried, pay attention. They've been in your life way longer than this other person has. There's a reason they're saying this. At least pay attention. I'm not saying that you have to go with everything that they say because, your mom isn't a fan of the guy. He has a motorcycle. Oh, no. No. That's not what I mean. But your friends know you. And if you're behaving differently, if you're making excuses for him, if you are changing your habits for something that's not positive and it's not good for you, pay attention to what your friends say. Really evaluate it. Give him a chance. Be objective. Give him a chance. Give them a chance. But evaluate it. Don't rush into a decision. See how it goes. If those red flags aren't mitigated, then tell your friends, you were right. Thank you guys for looking out for me. It wasn't a good fit, before you walk down that aisle. This is a biggie. Number 5 is a biggie. You don't think it is, but it is. Are you ready to have kids with that person? I said it. Are you going to make tiny human beings, little mini clones of you and him that you're going to have for the rest of your life? Are you ready for children with that person? If you are, great. Does he want kids? Do you want kids? The answer to that should be yes on both or no on both. But if it's one or the other on either side, you really have a lot to talk about before you walk down that aisle, because you can't think, oh, no, I don't want kids, but he does, and expect him to be okay with that long term no matter what he says now. Because he's going to think that you're going to want to change your mind. He's just thinking that your clock isn't ticking right now. When really, you were like, no, really, I don't want that. Vice versa, if you do want kids and he doesn't, then you need to respect that too. But it may mean that he may not be the right fit for you because he doesn't want kids. He doesn't want a family. He may want you, but you're not going to feel fulfilled until you have that family. And he is going to have resentment and regret because you forced him into something he didn't want. Now, that's not always the case. Sometimes it does work out where once you get pregnant and everything and the baby gets here, suddenly the man changes. Boom, best daddy ever. But it's rare. And don't expect your man to be the 1%. So hash that out. Discuss that in length in multiple conversations before you guys ever decide to say, I do. That's not a first date conversation, but it is a conversation for, within 6 months of the relationship. So let's recap. The 5 things to check before you say I do, before you walk down that aisle are: 1, negating any doubt or hesitation. Do you see the future with that person? And I'm talking about long-term future, not nearsighted. 3, do you love yourself enough to be alone? Have you given yourself enough work introspectively, have you given yourself enough work to be healthy for you and someone else? Number 4, pay attention to red flags. If they're waving at you, make sure you figure out why. And number 5, do you want kids together? Big deal. Big deal. So, your homework, if you're about to tie the knot, make sure that you pay attention to these 5 things before you walk down the aisle so that you can really, 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 on your wedding day, have the best feeling in the world, knowing that you're getting with the right person, knowing that you're signing that forever contract with the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, and you will have positive growth and so much fun together by doing that. Until next time, be sure to like and subscribe the video below and tell me what you think in the comments. If you're listening to the podcast, tell me what you think in the comments too, or reach out to me via email. I'll talk to you guys soon.